Hey guys, I wanted to make this video because I just watched Lexi Lombard's video on her second channel about materialism and the media that we consume, and that led me to watching the documentary on Netflix called Minimalism, and I just want to talk about all of it. First of all, if you have Netflix, please watch it. I'm halfway through this documentary and I have so much to say that I had to stop watching it just to film this. So let's talk about it. I feel like I've been trying to be more of a minimalist recently. I'm literally filming this by candlelight, so excuse the lighting. Since moving out of my parents' house, moving to college, moving to a dorm, moving to a house, moving everything back home, and now I'm gonna be studying abroad and trying to pack minimally. It's just so exhausting to have so much stuff that you just have to like pack up and then organize and keep neat and then go through and then buy more stuff. And so I'm just really trying to keep a smaller collection of things and, you know, only get the essentials. And I really am not a big shopper to begin with. At least as far as clothing goes, most of my clothing I buy either secondhand or I just end up wearing it forever, or I trade clothes with my friends or my sister, so I feel like I'm okay in that regard. But that being said, I do fall into the pitfalls of fast fashion sometimes. That's a topic that's covered in the documentary, and especially as a vegan, but more so as an environmentalist and somebody who really cares about sustainability. I'm realizing that I need to take more responsibility in researching what I buy. I feel like for me it's easy to justify, say, shopping at Forever 21 because I wear things for forever. A lot of people will buy cheaper clothes like that and get rid of it, but I tend to keep it for a long time, and the things that I buy I do wear for a long time, like at least a year, let alone a season. But anyway, I try to justify it to myself by saying, oh, well, at least you wear it a lot. But that also ignores another good documentary, True Cost, which is about fast fashion. That's on Netflix as well. That ignores, you know, the lack of sustainability and the bad conditions in which those clothing items are created. Anyway, so this is kind of a resolution for 2017 actually, for me to be a better consumer. If I'm going to minimize what I'm buying, that's great, but I also need to be mindful of which companies I'm supporting, and I want to just be a better consumer. So yes, this documentary, Minimalism, goes into fast fashion, and then it went into tiny houses, and I literally am very serious about getting a tiny house. I have been looking up the laws. It's in different states. It is illegal, and in, you know, other states you have to jump through all these hoops, or, you know, it depends on your tiny house. It depends on the dwelling. The kind of tiny house I want, ideally, would be one on wheels, probably around 200 or 300 square feet, probably 200. I'm not sure. I would want one that I could move. I wouldn't want to permanently be moving around, like I wouldn't be driving my tiny house, but I would ideally have it, and then, you know, if I wanted to move in a year or two, I could put it on a truck and drive it somewhere else. I wouldn't be moving it all the time. Anyway, the tiny house movement really appeals to me because it really helps you be more of a minimalist, obviously, because you only have so much space and you cannot fill it with a bunch of stuff. You have to really make decisions about everything that you have. Do I want this to take up valuable space in my tiny house? Do I need this? Does it fit? And I think that's really appealing to me. And also, you can save so much money, you know, especially, you know, as a young person. I don't know anyone who's like thinking about buying a house in the next 5 or 10 years. I don't know, but I could definitely see myself renting throughout my 20s, and all of that money that you spend every month just renting a place doesn't go anywhere. But if I have a tiny house, that money will slowly pay off the tiny house, and that's going to be a lot faster than any other kind of mortgage for a house. So that's definitely one of my goals. In the next like 2 or 3 years, I would love to start the process of getting a tiny house. as soon as possible, really. But anyway, I just love this documentary because it's just a good reminder that less is more. That's the most cliche thing, but truly, honestly, materials will not make you happy. Having a big house, filling it with tons of stuff will not make you happy. Having a dream closet will make you happy for a minute until the next trend comes out, and then you have to get the next thing. And it's true. I mean, I got a stupid new phone, the iPhone 7, because there was a deal Black Friday. Did I need this new phone? No, but I bought it. It was a good deal, and I do keep my phones for a long time and I take good care of them. But then again, there I go, justifying a purchase that was unnecessary. Also, side note, thanks Apple. Honestly, this is the most inconvenient thing ever. I can't even use a regular aux cord unless I remember to bring this adapter. First world problems, but you know. Anyway, yeah, when we start thinking about the environmental impact of everything we do and everything we buy, you know, it's so easy to ignore. It's impossible to directly see the impact of every purchase we make or all the food we eat just on a daily basis. You just can't. If you're buying your stuff or your food from anywhere, which most likely you are, if you're not growing it or making it yourself, you don't see that impact. But it's very important to remember. What else? Okay, fast fashion, tiny houses. I can't remember. Anyway, the last thing is just like, when you're thinking about your New Year's resolutions, which is always what's going on at this time of year, it's just natural to think ahead and try to figure out what your next year is gonna be like. I would say be present at the top of your list. You know, like listen more. I have learned so many good lessons, mostly from the books and podcasts that Reed has been listening and reading. Now I have so much to say. There's like 10 tangents popping out right now. Hi Heather.
Hello.
Here are some resolutions. Being present, being mindful, but like really listening. Listening is a huge thing. Like when you are sorry. When you're having a conversation with someone, are you actually listening? Because I definitely am not listening a lot of the time. If I let myself, I'll be on my phone, I'll be half listening, and then I am not responding, obviously, because I wasn't really listening. And that's just such a disservice to the people that we're with.
Listening and already thinking about your response.
Yeah, you're only considering what you're gonna say, which means that you don't care what the person you're talking to is saying. And if they're doing the same thing, then what the fuck are you doing having a conversation?
You're talking to yourself.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And on that same kind of note, I've just thought a lot about communication. Reed read the book called Lying by Sam Harris, and that is about honesty and how dishonest most people are in our daily lives, and how common white lies are, and like, is it damaging to lie? Even if it is small, even if you think it's insignificant, why do we allow ourselves to lie to people so much, especially the people that we're closest with, or even to ourselves? One analogy that really got me was, say you have a friend who loves to sing and he always asks how he's doing, and you know he's not a good singer, but you tell him like, oh, that's really good, man. Your friend is a bad singer. Your friend can't sing, but everyone in his life, to avoid discomfort, to avoid making him feel bad maybe, is telling him he's good. And I mean, these are the people who go on talent shows and then feel humiliated because someone is finally gonna be honest and say, you can't sing, you're not gonna make it. But to realize that everyone in your life has been lying to you and essentially wasting your time, because, you know, why should someone who can't sing pursue a dream of singing when it's just not gonna happen? Like, you're just not a singer. It just sucks that like we naturally want to just tell these white lies to avoid discomfort, when really it causes more discomfort. Because when you realize you lie to your friends once in a while, then it makes you paranoid and trust your friends less, because you're like, oh, I'm sure my friends tell white lies to me. What is it that they're not being honest about? So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about communication, I want to listen better, and I want to be more honest. Those are just simple things. Anyway, back to my point about materialism slash minimalism, which are opposites, not the same thing. Another side note, we rearranged my sister's living room, which I'm sitting in right now, because we got home and all my stuff was all over the place and her stuff was all over the place, and I was, what is this?
Processing my electricity.
Oh man, come on. I'm like, really?
Sorry, I'm done.
So anyway, there was just stuff all over the place, and I was like, we need to fix this. Let's feng shui the room.
First thing that we did when we walked in, I said, we're cleaning.
Yeah, I was already on that page. We didn't even have to say it.
Sure.
But anyway, we decluttered, and it's just simple stuff, but really, having a bunch of stuff around you makes you feel anxious. I mean, unless it's perfectly in the right place, it's bound to make you feel like disorganized and just like scatterbrained. And even if it is in the right place, it's gonna get messy. As soon as you take one thing out, then you have to put everything back. The more stuff you have, the more energy you have to spend keeping it in order or stressing about it not being in order. So no thank you. I want less things to stress about. Why do I want to stress about things when I can spend my energy thinking or like being with people or just doing other things? The real tangent I wanted to go to was Christmas, because obviously Christmas just happened. This is the holiday season, which is the, you know, the peak of materialism. You know, after Black Friday, everybody's just shopping for gifts, and it is great. I love to give gifts. I love, you know, the feeling of getting someone something thoughtful, something that they needed. But what I heard so much this season was like people like, oh, I don't know what to get so-and-so. Like, they're gonna get me something, I don't know what they like. Should I just get them this? Oh, maybe they'll like this. And you end up getting people like these generic presents or things they don't need, and just overall it's just not necessary, you know? I haven't really been big on gifts in the last few years. Me and my sister were opening a present from our friend Card, and it was so funny because I was like, I haven't like physically opened a gift in like years, I think, because like I just don't do I don't do presents on my birthday. I don't really like do presents on Christmas. I like to spend time with people and I'll watch them open gifts, but like I haven't really been in that mode, mostly because I've been broke. So I'm like, is this a mutual thing between me and my friends? Like, we're all broke and we're not gonna try to buy each other presents? Okay, good. But really, like, how much money do people spend, or time or whatever, looking for these presents that people end up getting and like, oh, thanks, but like not really appreciating because like you don't need it, you know? God. The gift giving is great. Thoughtful gifts, like handmade gifts, or like you know, the things that you open and you're like, wow, like you really thought of me, or like you literally made this for me. You didn't just see this in a store and go, oh, she'd like that. Oh, everybody likes candles. It's like, no. Anyway, the holiday season is so weird, but it's so obviously and blatantly surrounded by materialism. But really, like I just came back from my grandma's house today, and truly the most fun I have is just drinking and eating and hanging out and just, you know, being there, which is such a cliche thing, but like, what is more valuable than that? There's no present that could make me that happy. There's no present that I would rather have than like to literally just hang out with my family. Like, that's the best part of the holidays, so remember that. And not to shade everybody who like is excited to like give like material presents or receive them, but like what I got for Christmas videos, I don't know, sometimes they might be cool, I don't watch them, but to hear people just list off like things, it gets exhausting. I don't know. I love practical presents though. Like, Card got me a voltage converter, which was really helpful because I'm gonna be in France in just a couple days. I'm gonna freak out. But that was great because that was on my list of things that I needed, and he got it for me, so thank you, Card. But this is a long video now. That was just what I'm thinking about. I want 2017 to be a nice, efficient, eco-friendly, loving year. And I am gonna be traveling and I am gonna be buying things because I'm gonna be in Europe, but I'm not just gonna be buying things for the hell of it, you know? So please go watch Minimalism, the Netflix documentary, watch The True Cost. Just go watch documentaries. I love documentaries. I wanna make a full-length documentary right now. If you made it this far, wow, thank you so much for watching. Please comment. Wow, salt lamps are so 2017 because I'm looking at my sister's salt lamp and it's beautiful. That's all. Let's have a wonderful New Year's Eve and everything. Goodbye 2016. We are over it. Let's move ahead. Okay, thanks, bye.